So I want to show you guys how tamed a 1600 horsepower car really can be when set up properly, tuned properly. Wow, I feel crazy. I feel like a real YouTuber now with a sting on my head. What we're looking at here now, this is a real street performance built to JZ. I can drive this thing anywhere and I can enjoy doing it. That's the fun part. Guys, so this portion here of our drive will just be traffic like you see now, just to show you guys how nice and tame this thing can just drive and stop and go traffic. Look at that one. Enough of the slow driving, let's get on the freeway. Race family, guys, welcome back to another video. I got a neat one in store for you guys today, baby. Last on the channel, we were at the drag strip. This car ran a personal best. This is my 1994 Supra, Baltic Supra. Man, last week, it's been a week already. So last week at the track, we went a 752 at 186 miles an hour. It felt incredible inside the car. Man, it pulled back so strong. The car, I'll give you guys some stats. The car went 0 to 60 in 1.5 seconds. The car went 60 to 130 in 2.52, I think it was, or 2.57 seconds. So 2.5 seconds, 60 to 130. The car went, in the 8th mile, it was a 490, even, right? 490 in the 8th mile. A 490 and went 145 or 46 miles an hour. And 186 miles an hour out the back door. This thing felt incredible. Glued me to my seat. It was on the verge of wheeling. This car's lifted the tires a little bit before. It's really like a power wheelie because I leave on a foot brake, so the car leaves real smooth, and then when the power starts ramping in, it lifts the tire a little bit. The car on that pass, guys, saw 50. I had the nitrous turning off at 50 pounds of boost, so the car saw 50, like 2 pounds of boost in first gear, but at one point I was seeing 50 pounds of boost and 150 shot of nitrous on top in first gear, and then second gear was like 54 or so, and then third gear it spiked like 58 and it came down to like 55 out the back door. So big boost numbers. We ran the car strong. There's still more left in it, but that was not a slouch pass by any means. This car is fully controlled through an AEM version 2. I remember being told this AEM was crap back when I first bought it, right? I went to this shop. I'm not gonna blast his name, even though I probably should, but I went to this shop. I was a young kid. I was 21 years old. I had just bought my Supra. One of the first mods that I bought after I did my full bolt-ons, one of the first things that I bought was an AEM version 2. And I went to this shop and the guy asked me what standalone I was tuning with, and I told him I had bought an AEM, and he told me, that's junk. He's like, AEM, that's junk. I said, listen, I only want like 600 horsepower. His response was, he's like, it doesn't matter how much power you want, or it doesn't matter how much power you have, it's how good it can be controlled, and the AEM is junk. That's what this man told me. He's like, you should have bought a Pro EFI. I'm like, holy crap, okay. I left there feeling like shit. Pro EFI was triple the money. I couldn't afford it. So I bought my AEM, and here I am, 9 years later. I'm yet to have my first issue with my AEM. I've never had an issue. The car goes a 750 at 186 miles an hour, drives like stock. So if I can see that man again, I'll tell him you should eat your words. He's never had a Supra this tameable on the street like what this car is. So couldn't be happier. For today's video, guys, I said, you know what better video than a first person point of view of driving this car around on the street. At the end of the last video we recorded, when we went to 752, I shared with you guys how many factory parts this car was still using. Factory axles. This car's got TRD motor mounts, not solid mounts. It doesn't vibrate like crazy in here. It's nice and tamed. There's no engine plate, no mid plate. This car has got a lot of factory parts. The original 4-speed Toyota transmission that these cars bring, it's called an A340. It's the 4-speed auto, built by ATF Speed. This is the stage 4. This car's got a 6-speed Supra rear end, but it's got a Toyota rear end, a Toyota transmission, obviously the 2JZ. So there's been many other Supras that have gone 752 and better, but the neat thing about this car is that it does it with a lot of factory parts, and it's still extremely tamed, can drive anywhere. This car has ice cold AC, a sound system. If you guys are new to the channel, I'm gonna give you guys a quick walk around so you guys can see the car. Wow, I feel crazy. I feel like a real YouTuber now with a sting on my head. So I'm gonna give you guys a walk around, show you guys what this car is like. You know what, I'll even pop the hood, show you guys under the hood. and let's go for a cruise. Race family, let's do it. What we're looking at here now, this is a Real Street Performance built 2JZ. It has a BC billet crank, so it's actually a 3.2 liter stroker. Ported cylinder head by Porting Solutions. Car's got BC 276 cams. If you guys look here, guys, these are single injectors. The car has Siemens Deca, I think they're 220 pounds. They flow like 2,400 cc's. So I have single injectors. I actually have a box inside the house of the latest ID 2600s. They flow a little more than these, so I'm gonna be upgrading to those. As for now, I plan on staying on just a single fuel rail. So we'll throw the IDs on there, we'll crank the power up some more. Eventually, once we've reached the peak, the max, if at that point I still want more, then obviously we'll have to go twin rail. But for now, single injectors. I have one Weldon A345 underneath the car. It's a big electric pump with a booster pump on top of that. Weldon fuel pressure regulator. Pretty straightforward, guys. You guys will see a lot of PHR parts, PHR valve covers, PHR cap, PHR overflow tank. These things here are PHR 1 gallon catch can. There's a lot of PHR parts under here. Some of the pulleys. I actually need a new belt. I've been running this belt for like 2 years now, and it looks pretty worn. So it's time for a new one. This crazy thing here, if you guys aren't familiar, this is actually from PHR as well. This is a Daly's Engineering vacuum pump. But enough of that. I'll give you guys a quick walk around. Let's get to the road, guys. PHR exhaust manifold, PHR downpipe. This is their S45 exhaust manifold. That's a Precision 8685, a Gen 2 8685. So a simple little turbo for going this fast. This is a T4 manifold. It's not a Pro Mod manifold, not a Pro Mod turbo. Yeah, man, nice and simple little street car. So right now I have my passenger seat out. Whenever I go drag racing, guys, because I'm running so many factory parts, factory input shaft on my transmission, what else? Factory axles. I try to save whatever weight I can. So the passenger seat I take out. My full exhaust system I take out, and instead I run a dump right past the transmission. It goes about this far, like mid-door. So I have a dump there that goes straight down. So the car's louder than normal now. This is my drag setup. For tires, we use the Mickey Thompson Pros. These are a 275 radial. These tires are freaking amazing. I hope this camera's aiming in the right direction. Guys, my parachute. After that last run, I obviously fired off the parachute. I haven't even packed it. I kind of just threw it in the trunk, closed the trunk, and this is just here empty. But the parachute's in the trunk. I don't feel like doing it now. I have another GoPro here. So we'll have a GoPro looking at me, this GoPro looking forward, and we'll have another GoPro back here. In case we make a quick rip on the street, I'll show you guys what it looks like behind the car. So that's it, guys. Nice and simple car. This is our beautiful trailer, baby. I recently got this, our ATC. Full aluminum race car trailer. It's got the Baltic Supra logo along the side. All right, let's have some fun, guys. Let's get a cold start. Man, Lance does an awesome job tuning this car. Look at that. Fired right up. We'll start the video here now, guys. Let me show you the first thing I wanted to show you guys. So I got the car in drive. This car will shift first, second, third. If I flick this button in, that's overdrive. It'll shift first, second, third, and overdrive, which is fourth, all in its own. I have to do absolutely nothing. I don't have to manually shift it like a TH400 like you would have to on the street. This thing shifts itself. The other thing I want to show you guys, I get asked a lot how my converter feels driving on the street. So here I am on the brakes. Typically, when I built this car for the first time, typically I imagine a torque converter, right? I would come off the brake, it will do nothing. I would have to rev it to get the converter to engage and get the car to creep forward and drive. If you guys look, the second I come off the brake, the car is already gone. Look at this. Just like it would when it was brand new, when it was factory. So here we are cruising down the street. All I did was come off the brake. So as basic as this sounds, guys, with the full race torque converter like what we have in this car, God, this thing responds so well. Guys, with the full race torque converter like what we have in this car, it's not that common. But in a Supra, that's how this converter works. So here again, we're at the stoplight. Get my seatbelts on. I know you guys give me a hard time for that. All right, here we go. Come off the brake. Car's already rolling. have the shorty exhaust. Whenever I put the full exhaust on this thing, it is so quiet. You would never, in your mind, you would never imagine this thing to be that fast. It's extremely tamed. I've gone 7 seconds before on the full exhaust. I just take it out to be a little friendlier to all my Toyota parts and save a little bit of weight. Guys, the idle characteristics of this car on these large injectors, amazing. And I hear the ID 2600s are even better. But this car idles perfect, revs perfect, cruises. So I know a lot of you guys, I feel like the real racers, right? The real drag racers understand auto transmissions, appreciate auto transmissions. The young boys, right, that like the manuals and they look down on the autos. And I was like that too when I was young. But when you have these big 1600 horsepower cars, the last thing you want to be doing is fighting an aggressive clutch to street drive the car like we're doing today. Where this car, I can drive it like nothing. I can drive this thing anywhere and I can enjoy doing it. That's the fun part. If I want to mess around and have some fun, I always put it in manual mode and I can manually gear select. I can do that myself. Or if like right now we just want to cruise, we leave it on drive and we just cruise, baby. All right guys, so where we're living now is actually a vacation rental. We're like 4 blocks away from Atlantic Avenue. This is downtown Delray Beach in Florida. So this here is the downtown strip. Last night, my wife and daughter, right, Erica and Leilani, we were getting food at a pizza place at like 1 in the morning. Then we walked to the beach and walked back to our truck. It was almost 2 in the morning. And at that time, there was actually a group of cars. I guess they had all left the track. There was 2 Porsches, a McLaren 720. They had track numbers on the back of the cars, and they were all parked here in the downtown area. I wanted to go home and get the Supra so bad and come troll them, come mess with them, right? But I was like, nah, let me behave, and we stayed home. But a younger me would have came out here and found myself a little street race, but we're trying to keep it off the streets and just enjoy the track events. So this is Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon. I think it's like 12 something now. It's 12:58 now, guys. So Saturday afternoon here in downtown. Guys, so this portion here of our drive will just be traffic like you see now, just to show you guys how nice and tame this thing can just drive and stop and go traffic. Once we get past this, we'll get on the freeway and we'll let the car cruise at 70, 80. We're actually a few blocks from the beach now, so I figured we'll make a nice little beach drive and then we'll get on the highway. This car, guys, maintains excellent temperatures. And that's with, this car's got a 6-inch intercooler, ETS 6-inch thick intercooler. It's huge. So that's with that, but we also utilize the PHR dual spa electric fans. These fans are amazing. I never had overheating issues with the factory fan, but these electric fans are just so much nicer, man. In between passes at the track, I can open my ignition and cool the engine back down. Lots of perks to having this. This person might be getting a ticket, but look at the Donald Trump head on the side of the car. That's funny. This is the pizza place we were at last night. And this sub shop here, I love coming to this sub shop. I've been coming here for many years. All right, guys, this is the beach here. What's up, brother? He gave us a thumbs up and he was recording us. Guys, we get a lot of that in this car. Supras get recognized and appreciated everywhere you drive them, but then when you're driving with a parachute in the back, that definitely adds to it. Here we are with a 10-point cage, man. This cage is awesome. This was done by JC Race Cars. I couldn't be happier. I actually like the car more now than before the cage. And my fear, I put off doing a cage for a long time. My fear was that I would not enjoy driving it as much, kind of lose love for the car. I've gained love for the car now with the cage. All right, guys, so this is all the beach, and I want to show you guys too the awesome homes that are here waterfront. Not right here, but a little further up. Look at this, the beach is packed. always like driving through these tree covered areas, man. This looks so nice. Oh, another thing, guys, don't mind the gas gauge. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but it reads empty. My fuel gauge has always worked. Last time I installed my billet hanger, I did it in a rush, and I guess the level got stuck on the hanger, so it always reads empty. However, when I really know that it's empty is when it turns on the fuel light. As you can see, well, it's off now, but there's a light right there. When that light comes on, that means we're empty. But even then, by the time it comes on, I can still drive another 40 miles or so, or maybe even more. This car's got a factory fuel tank, so even when the light comes on, there's still a lot of fuel in there. Plus, I have a fuel surge tank, which is another thing of fuel that's always filled. So, almost always, I even drive it with the light on. Whenever I drag race, I always make sure to drag race with the light on to make sure it's really lightweight, not carrying a lot of fuel. Enough of the slow driving, let's get on the freeway. We're actually gonna pass by Best Buy really quick. I need another memory chip, a little memory card for one of these GoPros, for the GoPro that I have in the rear. So we'll get that and then we'll cruise around some more. All right guys, when we leave this traffic light, I'm gonna show you guys what it's like if I put it on manual mode. Right now we're locked in first gear and I'll have to manually shift it up myself. If I don't shift it, it'll stay in first gear. All right, here we go. We're in first gear. We're just gonna cruise out of this traffic light. Suspension runs over that speed bump like nothing. This car's got no clearance issues. Guys, this turbo whistles so nice. I bought this turbo from Grocery Performance. It's a Precision 8685, but it has the OCD Works T51R mod, so it whistles really badass. Car recording. Guys, the car right now is set to like 32 pounds. It made 1190 at 35, so that's got to be like 1150 or so. What's up? Badass? That was like 1150. It makes 1600 turned up. Yeah, man. It runs 750 in a quarter mile. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Oh, there goes our gas light. Race family, disregard that shit, we're good. Guys, that quick little pull there, that thing felt really strong, man. It felt incredible. I really think, no, I know it is. This car now on this new setup, on the 3.2 liter engine, the 8685, the car's making a lot more power per pound of boost. Before, this car would not have acted that way at 32 pounds, not at all. But it took 40 plus to act that way. Look at these guys. Got a shopping cart for the dog and one for the TV. All right, so here's Best Buy. This is where we're going. Let's park all the way in the back. Guys, powered windows. Come on, man. This is a street car. All right. There we are, race family. I'm gonna leave this camera back here. Hope nobody steals. You know what? I'll take it with me. It's not worth it. I literally just bought this thing yesterday. If somebody steals it today, that would suck. Guys, let's do a quick walk around, show you guys the car again. Whenever you guys park your car, if you don't look back at it a handful of times, you're not driving the right car for you, man. I love this freaking car. Looks so simple. Guys, when I bought this car actually, it was an original twin turbo auto car, but it came originally wingless. There was no spoiler on it. And understand this, I love Supras with the round spoiler, with the TRD spoiler. I love Supras every which way they come. But this car was originally wingless, and I decided to keep it that way, and it started to grow on me. And then eventually I did the carbon hatch. The real reason I did this is, guys, the factory hatch on a Supra, they tend to rust right here. So this car was starting to rust. This car's from '94. On both sides, I had it fixed. Obviously not on the carbon, on the factory hatch. It started to rust. I had it fixed, and after I fixed it, a couple years later, I started doing it again. So I said, the hell with that, and I bought carbon, and I love my carbon hatch. This is a carbon Cybon hatch, and it's a great product. I put the OEM glass on there. I could have put a plastic glass and saved weight, but nope, that's not me. It had to be OEM. So I threw the factory glass back on there. The stance on these B-lock wheels, guys, I love it. Look at that. Come on. All right, let's go get that little chip for this GoPro. We'll be back to cruising, baby. Look at that Baltic Supra. What's up, my brother? Thank you, my brother. Thank you for looking out. I forgot mine. Guys, this is the GoPro section here. Bought a GoPro right out of here yesterday. Where's the memory cards? Oh, here they are. We need one of these little micro cards. How's it going, brother?
Good. Can you help find anything?
I was just looking for a memory card.
What size you looking for?
The biggest and fastest, the best one you got.
Okay,
it's for a GoPro.
yeah, you got it.
Thank you for helping out.
Not a problem. So that right there is going to be one of the fastest. I'm just seeing if I have. Oh, that's too big. You need micro for that.
Micro, yeah.
Let me take a look on one other place and see if I got anything that's not out.
Okay.
Carbon 128 is the same speed. Let me just see what the price is on.
Okay. That was awesome customer service. He got here right away. You got more of these?
I do. How many you need?
I'll take another. Thank you. I'm gonna look at batteries too, maybe like extra batteries.
Yeah. So that's the battery you'll probably need.
Yeah, so that's good. I'm good like this.
Okay.
So what I do sometimes is I charge it inside the GoPro itself.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Makes sense.
You want to ring me out or go to the front?
Come on.
Yeah. Just about 2 memory cards.
Thanks, man.
And 1 charger. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Guys, our Supra's got racing numbers all over it. This 85 on the side is from the regular test and tune night when we won the 750. They stuck that number on there. And on the back glass, you see an 86, 85. That was the racing numbers you used at Florida 2K. I gotta take all these numbers off. All right, I actually left my phone in the car too. There it is. Guys, my phone's got a cracked screen. I dropped it the other day. All right, so let's throw this crap in there.
probably like an 86 millimeter.
Yeah, man, you know your stuff. That's an 8685 from Precision. It's a T4 exhaust manifold, 4-inch exhaust.
You're probably running an 86 and probably somewhere around like a 32 for a low boost.
That's what it's at right now, yeah. Yeah, so the spring pressure, the least I could turn it down to is like 23 pounds. It makes like 850 wheel. Right now it happens to be at 32, so good guess. That's like 1150 to the tire. But turned up, it...
So you have a PSI gauge right there on the...
That's for fuel pressure, yeah.
On the fuel line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat car. We went drag racing last week. You familiar with drag racing?
Yeah.
All right, so
I have a 2000 Pontiac Firebird with a I just did an engine swap from the 3.8 over to the LS1. So
nice, man.
like I'm planning on doing a full long tube exhaust setup all the way from the headers on back. Gonna eventually get some bigger injectors. Toss that into there and then straight pipe it all in.
That's how it all starts, man. When I bought this car, it was all stock, and little by little I did all those things. I did exhaust work, intercooler. I know.
It's a beautiful car though.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, it gets crazy expensive, and it's never enough. No. I'll warn you now.
You always want more.
I remember wanting 800, and I got bored of that really quick, and then I wanted 1,000.
By the way, gentlemen.
Thank you, brother. What's up, brother? Yeah, man. It's a Toyota Supra.
Oh, shit, I know, man.
You got a Toyota, man. You should know.
My dad used to drive a Celica. I was like, the body shape I'm familiar with. I was like, I don't know, I can't.
Yeah.
The one way you can tell it, look at the taillights.
Yeah.
Got it.
Taillights will give it away every time.
That's what's up.
I see you definitely changed the headlight lenses too.
They're factory. They're new, but they're... Say again?
How many horses?
It makes 1,600. 1,600 to the tire. It's probably like 1,900. A lot of boost.
If you're making 1,600 to the tires, you're making a lot more than 1,800 at the crank.
Yeah, his motor's rated at 2,000, so
you're probably maybe pushing 2,000 to 2,200 at the crank.
Yeah.
Due to parasitic loss, so you're gonna have parasitic loss from your crank to your transmission to your drive shaft to your re-wheels.
Yeah.
So between 20 to 30% of parasitic
yeah.
loss.
How much have you invested in this car? Let's be honest.
Oh, a lot of money.
Now I would assume you probably have a good 20 to 30K.
No. No. 20 to 30K gets you nothing.
Yeah, that's like body work, maybe.
Yeah, no, yeah. I spent 25 grand just last month alone doing things to it. I've spent well over 100 grand on modifications. Yeah, it gets expensive.
That's crazy.
But that's been over the course of 9 years.
What's the resale
mind
value on
starting?
that?
Yeah. What was that?
What's the resale value on that?
They've actually gone up for a lot. I bought the car for 20 grand like 9 years ago, and now to find them even original, they're like 45, 50 grand.
Okay.
And how it is, it'll go for 100 grand plus.
Okay, go ahead and wrap it up.
I will. Later, guys. Race family, that's what it's all about, guys. I love sharing my passion with everyone, man. Whoever wants to speak cars, if it's little kids, people of all ages, if they're into cars, I love talking to them. This is my passion, man. I love cars, and I'd be cruel to enjoy this and not enjoy sharing it with others. Not to mention, I always say we work on these cars so hard that when they get appreciated, it just feels good. Come on, baby! You can hear this turbo just whistling, man. It sounds like a damn jet. freeway, I was manually shifting it. I wanted it to stay in second gear so we could start in second gear, and then I shifted it up to third accordingly. Then flicked overdrive just to cruise on the freeway. Now we're back to just full auto with overdrive off. Man, was that fun. Shifts like butter, man. These aren't aggressive shifts that shake the car. This thing goes 1, 2, 3, you don't even realize it. Guys, there's a lot of high-end supercars that drive this strip. Last night there was a McLaren, 2 Porsches. There was at a different occasion, a little earlier, we saw a Aventador SVJ. It was beautiful. Lots of supercars. I've actually seen a Bugatti down this strip. There's lots of high-end cars that drive this little strip here. You guys can see how overcast it is already. Any minute the rain will be here. All right, guys, just like that, we're back home. Like I shared earlier, guys, this is loud. I truly don't even enjoy driving the car like this. I'd rather have it on the full exhaust for street driving. It's nice and tamed. I don't feel guilty stopping at a traffic light, making all this noise, potentially waking up a sleeping baby in the car next door. I'm not like that, man. I like keeping this thing nice and quiet, not disturb anyone when I street drive. But this is the shorty exhaust that we use when we drag race. That's how the car was last used. So all I did was pop the headlight back in so we can have working lights for nighttime driving. I drove it last night a little bit, but that's it, guys. I'll give you guys a quick walk around. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I love driving this car, man. And that's the beautiful thing. I can drive it anywhere. Let me close this. You even still got the factory little freaking noise that gets crazy annoying. Guys, I never want the day to come that I can't street drive this car with AC, with a sound system, just cruising the streets. I never want to sacrifice any of that stuff to make it faster. The AC might weigh freaking 30, 40 pounds. The big pump, all the lines, all the crap, the condenser, all that shit might be freaking decent weight, but I refuse to take it off. It's not coming off this car. This car is going to remain. It may not ever be the fastest, right, compared to all drag Supras, but I want it to be the quickest, street-driven, still with a lot of the factory amenities, Supra. That's our goal. So my next site, guys, I've done enough in the quarter mile. I still want to improve. My goal when I built this engine was a 730 at 190, and we're going to do it. Okay, let me get this camera. 730 at 190 is just a number that came to mind. It's something that I felt wouldn't come easy, but could be obtainable. So that's what I set my eyes on. We've gone to 750 at this point at 186. So 4 more miles, 2 less tenth of a second. So that's our goal. But my real big focus now, guys, is half mile. The half mile record for the US is 205, and we're coming for it. The half mile record in the world for a Supra is 214. That's the number I'm really focused on. I want to go faster than 214 miles an hour and a standing half mile, and we're gonna do it. As soon as one comes available, a half mile event, we're going straight to it. We had tickets for Pikes Peak last month, but because of COVID-19, that event got canceled. So the very next event I see happening, we're gonna attend it and we're gonna set that record on fire. But anyways, we're back at the house. Sure enough, that camera died. The inside camera died as well. But guys, drive's freaking awesome. You guys can see how nasty overcast it is now. But Race family, thank you for joining me on that ride. We got more videos coming. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a blessed day.